Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavit Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 11 to 15 of chapter 3. Devan bhavayatanena
Devan bhavayatanena
Te deva bhavayantu vaha
Te deva bhavayantu vaha
Parasparam bhavayantaha
Parasparam bhavayantaha
Shreyah paramavapsyatha
Shreyah paramavapsyatha
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha
Taidattana pradayabhyaha
Taidattana pradayabhyaha
Yo bhungte stena eva saha
Yo bhungte stena eva saha
Yajna shishtashinah santaha
Yajna shishtashinah santaha
Muchyante sarva kilbishaihi
Muchyante sarva kilbishaihi
Bhunjate te tvagam papaha
Bhunjate te tvagam papaha
Ye pachantyatmakaranat
Ye pachantyatmakaranat
Annad bhavanti bhutani.
Annad bhavanti bhutani.
Parjanyadanna sambhavah.
Parjanyadanna sambhavah.
Yajnat bhavati parjanyah.
Yajnat bhavati parjanyah.
Yajnah karma samudbhavah.
Yajnah karma samudbhavah.
Karma brahmodbhavam viddhi.
Karma brahmodbhavam viddhi.
Brahmakshara samudbhavam.
Brahmakshara samudbhavam.
Tasmat sarvagatam brahma.
Tasmat sarvagatam brahma.
Nityam yajne pratishtitam.
Nityam yajne pratishtitam.
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So in the last session, we were seeing some of the dimensions of this word Anna. All these great truths of life, they are actually very simple. It is the human mind which is very complicated. If you have a simple mind, you will be able to derive all the messages from the scriptures. The problem is that your mind is loaded with so much of preconceived notions. You have read something somewhere, somebody else has told you something. I am talking of right from young age. Now you don't even remember what you have read, where you have read, when, all those things you forget. But the belief systems which you have formed go deep into your personality, and then they start influencing the way you think, the way you feel, the way you talk, the way you look at others, everything. A yogi's mind is actually very simple, uncomplicated. The entire sadhana which we are doing is only to remove these complications of the mind. When you have a simple mind, you will see things as they are. Even when you read the scriptures, you will directly be able to absorb the energy behind these verses. And when you absorb the energy behind these verses, that is when the true wisdom starts overflowing within you. When you don't have that simplicity, now what happens is, when, for example, let's say you read a verse from the scripture, now you will read it with a colored mind. See, once your mind is loaded with belief systems, then it will act like a filter. Whatever is acceptable to your previous beliefs will be okay for you. Whatever is not, now that will create a lot of tussle. So that is why the great yogis say that you need to focus on making your mind very simple. They always say, become like a child of 5. Just receive the energy from the master, from the higher Shakti. Why do they say that? That is so important. So one is to keep comparing the different interpretations of the Bhagavad Gita. That is at the intellectual level. But the other is to get to the energy of the Bhagavad Gita. The energy of Lord Krishna, the energy of Vedavyasa. Oh, that is the infinite source only. Because Lord Krishna was the supreme avatar of the infinite. Vedavyasa was one of the greatest masters. So they are all aligned to the infinite energy only. And what is interesting is different masters at different periods of times, it looked as if they were saying different things. But if you go deep into it, which is what is the yogic approach, if you get to the energy of what they were saying, it is all one and the same only. So sometimes some masters, they laid stress on karma, action. Sometimes some masters laid stress on bhakti, devotion. Sometimes certain masters said, no, karma and bhakti are not important. It is jnana, knowledge, which is important. The energy behind all the three are one and the same, assuming that they are true masters. Then how is it that what they are saying is so different? Because the context varies. When Krishna was talking to Arjuna, he emphasized on karma, action, because Arjuna was a man of action and the need of the hour was action, not philosophical discussions, which is what Arjuna wanted to do. But he is standing on the battlefield. He had forgotten that. So Krishna emphasized so much on karma, action, karma yoga, how to purify actions. When Krishna spoke to the gopis, he taught them what is unconditional love. He explained to them that love can be selfish, love can be unselfish, love can be selfless. All these things he told them. Why? Because the context there was different. They were predominantly devotional people. So they were able to absorb that. But the energy behind that and this is one and the same. So the 18 Puranas were written by Vyasa. Okay, one Purana is attributed to his father. Now that is okay. Let us take it as Vyasa only because he endorsed it. Now, when all the Puranas were written by the same person, when Vyasa wrote, let us say, the Bhagavatam, the central message there, if you see, is that the energy of Vishnu, Narayana. But if you take the Mahashiva Purana, that is, the central theme was Shiva, they look diametrically opposite. I am saying for those followers who don't go deep into it, when you just look at these things superficially, that's how it will look. So in the Vishnu Purana or even the Bhagavatam, Shiva came out of Vishnu. Now there in Shiva Purana, Vishnu came out of Shiva. Now which one is true, which one is false? You will get totally confused. And if you go to the Devi Purana, now which is the Shakti, as a Pradhan worship. Now Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, all three came from the goddess. Is this right or that right? How will you determine that? See, this question itself, whether this is right or that is right, comes from the intellectual level. When you do hair splitting analysis with the intellect and try to compare these two, that is called comparative study. Now, comparative study is not the yogic way, because that is that is at the realm of the intellect. The effort is directed externally, and it will lead to clashes only. So Vaishnavites will say Vishnu is superior, Shaivites will say Shiva is superior, Shaktiites, those who do Shakti worship, they'll say Shakti is only superior. Those who worship Vinayaka will say Vinayaka is only superior. Those who worship Muruga will say Muruga is superior. Whatever practices you do, now you will claim that is only the best. But what you should remember is all these Puranas were written by one master. Even if, let us say, a few more rishis have also written, because so many other Puranas are also there. Now, apart from the 18 principal Puranas, see, the fact that we are calling them Maharishis, we are calling them great sages, means they were at that highest level. So, how can they contradict each other? And how can the same person say one thing in one Purana, another thing in another Purana? So, there is some message. Something is missing with a normal approach. That is why the differences are being seen. So, if you go deeper and see at the energy level, now you will find that all the Puranas are giving the same message only, because there is that one infinite energy. That infinite is one formless reality. Now, whether you take Bhagavan Narayana or Bhagavan Shiva or Shakti, Muruga, Vinayaka, whomever you take, they are all nothing but different manifestations of that supreme reality. So, when the context is the energy of Lord Vishnu as the central theme, now the importance is given to that, the emphasis is given to that, we can put it that way. That doesn't mean now Vishnu is superior to Shiva or their Shiva is superior to Vishnu, it's not that. See, for example, you have a musical program. Let's take the Indian classical music, Carnatic style. Now, the singer sings. First, in the Carnatic style, they do what is called as Alapanam. Nowadays, that itself is going away, because to sing alapanas of raga, you require creativity. In the good old days, the great singers like Madurai Mani Iyer, Maharajapuram Vishwanath Iyer, all of them, alapana itself used to go for a long time, where just the pure essence of the ragam is taken and that is just hummed, kind of, So they sing that. Now, when they finish that, then the instrumentalist, the violinist, he gives his alapana or her alapana, whoever the violinist is. And then the singer sings, the violin fills it up, the mridangam artist, he also accompanies. Then towards the end, a separate portion is given for the mridangam person also, where he sometimes the ghatam is there, the mud pot, that instrument is there, and then they have a kind of a competition, you can say. He plays something, he plays something. That is also there. So now, what is interesting is when, let's say, the singer sings, we'll just take the alapana initially. When the singer sings the alapana, now the focus is on the singer only, not on the violinist. Even though the violinist may accompany, the focus is on the singer. So once the alapana is over, when people are inspired, they clap. But then when the violinist starts the alapana, the focus shifts to the violinist. The emphasis is on the violin. It is not a question of who is superior, the singer or the violinist. It is not seen like that. At that time, when the violinist is playing that, the singer never interrupts. Many a times, great singers like Madurai Mani Iyer, when the violinist plays some extraordinary notes, he appreciates. He says, because that's so inspiring. Similarly, when the singer brings out such exquisite notes, the violinist used to appreciate. And when the mridangam is there in a separate way, now the whole focus is on that. Which one is superior, which one is inferior, that question itself is meaningless. If you understand the true spirit of Carnatic music, classical music, that question itself becomes redundant. So initially the focus is on the singer, then the focus goes to the violinist, then both of them together, the other percussion instruments also join. This is how it goes. So when the singer is singing, the emphasis is on the singer. When the violinist is playing, the emphasis is on the violinist. So everything put together is what is the whole music. So when the emphasis is on Lord Narayana, that is the energy, invoking the energy of Lord Narayana, that has to be done fully. No distractions, Similarly, when the focus is on Lord Shiva, that has to be invoked fully. So these Puranas, these scriptures are not separate Puranas. All of them put together is one wisdom. Sometimes emphasis is on this, sometimes emphasis as the time comes. That is why in the Yoga Sankirtan series, we are invoking the energies of these manifestations of the Supreme Reality. The next Yoga Sankirtan series is going to be on the Adi Shakti and the different manifestations of Shakti. So we are going to see that. then the picture will become more complete. The whole emphasis of the Yoga Sankirtan sadhana is to get to the root energy, not get caught up with intellection or mere music. Now, why I am mentioning this is that I have received a question from a scholar who has done comparative, who has done his research on comparative religions, the comparative scriptures. That is comparative studies on scriptures. So he has read the Bible, he has read the Vedas, he has read Bhagavad Gita, so many things. And now what he has said in that email is very interesting. He says, after many years of all this, I am a very confused person now. Because we don't even need to go to compare, we don't get into a comparison between the Bible and Vedas, he says. Even if you take the Vedas themselves, one verse they are saying this, another mantra they are saying something else, opposite view they are giving, and what is said in the Vedas seem to be contradict us somewhere else. And then when I read the different bhashyas, like when I read the Shankara bhashya of the Bhagavad Gita, that he has said one thing, Ramanujacharya has said one thing, Madhvacharya. So I am utterly confused. This is his point. The reason why you are confused, sir, is because you have taken an intellectual approach. That is not our yogic approach. Actually, all the conflicts based on these scriptures and faiths are because of this, of not looking into this basic aspect, that is going to the energy of the sadhana or energy of the scriptures. If you go to the root energy, it's all one and the same. So everything put together is one song in Carnatic music. If you can't take only the alapana of the singer, and now see he sang this raga in a particular way. Now the violinist is now doing some, is playing it in a different way, same ragam. So who's correct? Is what he depicted about that ragam or what he depicted? You can't make a comparison like that. This is what is happening. Vaishnavites, they compare that with Shaivism. There is nothing, actually, if you really think about it, if you take the whole wisdom, there is nothing like Vaishnavism, Shaivism and all that. All that came much later. If you go straight to the truth, there is only that one infinite supreme reality. Now, you can view it in so many ways, you can approach it in so many ways. Everything put together is a total wisdom, which is what is being taught to you. That is the yogic approach. So a yogi, when he reads the Srimad Bhagavatam, he'll get inspired. When he reads the Mahashiva Purana, he'll get inspired. Read means not merely intellectually, but when he meditates with that. It is like a lover of Carnatic music. When he hears a singer singing, he'll get inspired. When he hears the violinist, he'll get inspired. When he hears some of the amazing variations which the Mridangam artist is given, he'll get inspired by that. Each one has its own flavor. Now, you can become a yogi only if you have this broad-based, deep understanding of this whole thing, that God is only one, infinite, supreme reality. Now, the rest are all different manifestations. So, even among the Vedas, see, same Vyasa only compiled all the 4 Vedas. Because he found that these truths are so vast to compile it into one unit now will become very difficult for people to master. So he divided into 4 Vedas. Each Veda also he divided into 4 parts. Now like this division, subdivisions were put. Like in a Carnatic music song, supposing it's for let us say the whole song is for 6 months. I'm just simply saying. Now they will start giving breaks, they will divide that song into different parts and then only they will connect. Even in Yoga Sankirtan we have done that, no? Supposing 1 hour piece, there are subdivisions, 5 parts or 6 parts. Within each part also there will be paragraphs. Within each paragraphs there will be lines, small breaks as it were. So the whole thing has to be seen together. So when Vyasa compiled the 4 Vedas, now people have started fighting there also. Those who follow Yajurveda, according to the tradition from where they come from, they say Yajurveda is superior. Some people say no, Samaveda is only superior because Krishna says, among Vedas I am Samaveda. Now, see, when we come to that context, we will see. But to get into this kind of a quarrel and to see the differences and stop with that, that is what is not allowing people to get to the real essence of spirituality. The aim of these sessions is to teach you the essence of spirituality. Whatever be your sampradaya, whatever be your tradition, now we are not interested in anybody can attend this. Whatever be your religion, if you get to the yogic approach, you will understand the Bible better, you will understand the Vedas better, you will understand your own tradition better. And when you understand your tradition in depth, you will also understand that all traditions are equal. Your emphasis will move away from the externalities to becoming attuned to that infinite supreme reality. So, this is the answer to that dear scholar who has sent actually a very long mail, and he has been very genuine and is extremely knowledgeable person, Actually, the amount of knowledge which he has, if I have any clarification, I will definitely ask him only. Supposing what is said in that verse in this Veda means, he will be able to immediately tell. He is like we can say a walking dictionary or walking encyclopedia of all the scriptures. But he says, I am utterly confused with all this knowledge. So in this yogic approach, I'm giving you the multi-dimensional approach, which first has to be built. The same infinite reality can be viewed as Vishnu, can be viewed as Shiva, can be viewed as Shakti. It is all depends on from what angle you are approaching the infinite. The same word Anna, it can mean food, it can be boiled rice, it can be earth, it can be water, it can be Surya, it can be Vishnu. We are going to see that, what Vishnu means today in this context. It all depends upon the context, the emphasis. Thus, you are one individual. At one point of time, you may be a father, another point of time, you may be a son or daughter, you may be a mother, you may be a CEO in your office, you may be a friend to your friend. It is the same person only. The context will keep varying. So, if you want to truly get to the core of the Bhagavad Gita, this is the way, the yogic approach, getting to the core energy. And once you get to the core energy, you will find that all the masters have said the same thing only in different ways. All the Puranas put together is giving you a message. So just as within a Purana you have parts, now if you take the total wisdom, Vishnu Purana is one part, Shiva Purana is another part. We have to invoke all these energies to grow spiritually, because you are made up of different energy centers. See, there is no deep understanding today. If you go to your inner personality, you're made up of different energy centers. All these great gods, they represent energies, and those energy centers are there within you. All those have to be tapped. The Yoga Sankirtan is a direct method to do that. So there is nothing to resist. I am a devotee of Shiva, I will not worship Vishnu. I am a devotee of Vishnu, I will not worship Shiva. I am a Shakti worshipper, so I will not enter this temple. There is nothing like that. In our original Vedas, if you go to the spirit of all the great Maharishis, that was not the spirit. So, are we studying the Bhagavad Gita? Yes. But are we studying it as a text? No, not in the intellectual way. We are getting to the core energy of the Bhagavad Gita. The core energy is the key. That is possible only through the yogic approach. So, with all your comparative studies, sir, which you made, you have only been dabbling with the externalities. No doubt you have gained wonderful knowledge, but that is not going to help you to evolve spiritually. You may be able to quote from Vedas, from all the scriptures, but if you want to now evolve spiritually, which is what will give you the peace of mind, which is what will clear all the confusions, now you will have to drop all the knowledge. You have to drop that approach. You cannot drop the knowledge, but this external approach, and get to the internal sadhana. I would suggest you get the Yoga Sankirtan sadhana materials and start doing sadhana every day. Turn your focus inward. All the Vedas, the Puranas, the entire wisdom is there within you. The yogis experience that. The entire Bhagavad Gita wisdom is there within you. So when you do sadhana only, you will be able to relate to this at the energy level. That is why many sadhaks have said that once they have gotten into the yogic approach, they find that this is so complete. They don't find the necessity to read other books or this and that, because everything is included in this. See, if you're not fully surrendered or fully focused, then only the mind will want distractions. The yogic approach is the most complete approach because it encompasses everything. It encompasses knowledge, it encompasses devotion, action, the mystical part, the energy part, the sadhana, everything. So, we were seeing the different dimensions of Anna. Anna means food, that which gives you, that which sustains you. It also means cooked food, boiled rice, cooked food. So, that also I explained. And then we were seeing how Anna refers to earth, Anna refers to water. So, earth represents being grounded. This is so important when you are going deep in your sadhana. See, you are all being exposed to this higher healing Shakti. Every week the higher healing Shakti is being invoked for you, and then in the empowerment courses, the healing Shakti is invoked in a much more powerful way, and the energy transfer also is being done. So when you are exposed to all this, and when you are doing your personal sadhana, in a small way the invocation happens. Now when you are doing all this, there is a chance that you may lose sight of practicality, and that is why I as a word of caution, I thought this dimension is so important. Being grounded, be very practical in life. If you are dealing with finances, deal with it properly. There, don't bring in this philosophy and say, what is there in money? Of course, what is there in money? Nothing is there in money. Everybody knows that money cannot give happiness. But then why are you earning money? You have certain needs to be fulfilled. You have to perform certain duty. For that you require it, no? Then do it properly. Save properly, invest properly. Put some understanding into what you're doing. Like this, every aspect of life. See, you start a family, and then if you say, oh, the world is an illusion, what is there in relationships? If you talk like that, then why did you get into a relationship? Why did you start a family? Oh, what is there in this world? No, why are you living in this world? Go to some place which is outside this world. Is it possible? So, when you talk this high philosophy, there is a chance of losing sight of practicality. So, that combination, cloud is floating high. We saw it in the previous step, and then earth that is being grounded. So, Raja Janaka, he was a great realized soul. Now, when Vedavyasa's son, Sukhamuni, when he went to him for guidance, he demonstrated this. See, what happened is, Vedavyasa was such a great saint. Sukhamuni, his son, being born with that gene, he had inherited those spiritual genes, that spiritual energy, and he became a great saint, great yogi. So when Sukhamuni approached Vyasa for guidance, he said, listen, I can't guide you. You should go to a guru. To which Sukhamuni said, you are my guru. When you are there, why should I go to anybody else? To which Vyasa said, that is true. You're guiding so many others. That's also a fact, no? So Vyasa said, that is true, but there is one block which you're having, that is, you're also seeing me as your father. So what happens is, there is that small ego somewhere deep down that I am Vedavyasa's son. So even that has to be broken. So he said, okay, then you suggest a person to whom I should go and learn. He said, Raja Janaka. To which Sukhamuni said, a king who is involved in all the pleasures, you want me to go and learn from him? I am an ascetic. I am a hermit. He already had many siddhi powers and all that through intense meditations. Sukhamuni at that time was in a very advanced stage. So Vedavyasa said, listen, don't judge. You asked me to tell you a person, I have told you. So go and learn. So Sukhamuni went. And the incident is that there are so many things, actually I'm not going to go through the whole story now. But the point is, when Sukhamuni went for the first 3 days, Raja Janaka never even entertained him. He was made to wait outside for 3 days. It's a test, Sukhamuni was just quietly waiting, patient, no judgments. Because his father had told him not to judge. And then next 3 days, suddenly Raja Janaka sent a lot of people to welcome Sukamuni, gave him all the comforts, pressed his feet, gave him massage, this, that and all. Sukamuni was unmoved by that also. He was a student of the highest order, Like that, the training or the tests which were given and all are very interesting. And then when Raja Janaka, met Sukamuni, he said, I require Guru Dakshina. Without that, I cannot give you this. That was also a test only. So to which Sukamuni said, tell me what Guru Dakshina you want, sir. Anything you tell, I can materialize in you. Because he had all the siddhis. But Raja Janaka asked him for something which he couldn't materialize. He said, bring me something in the world which has no worth, which is worthless. Now how to materialize something which is absolutely worthless, which has no value whatsoever. So it was all a sadhana which Raja Janaka was giving him. So what happened was that even though his father had told him not to judge and Sukamuni was practicing it, somewhere deep in the mind, he had that ego. That is why the father had sent him there. That I am Vyasa's son. So what can King Janaka teach me? He is after all involved in the worldly pleasures. But when he saw King Janaka in the courtroom, now there, some people were standing next to him and, fanning him. And he was sitting on the throne amidst the pleasures of life. So before Sukamuni could even conclude how come he is so involved, he saw that one leg of King Janaka, it was immersed, it was kept inside a pit where fire was raised. So one leg was in the fire and he was enjoying the pleasures of the world. Now when Sukamuni saw that is when he understood the greatness of King Janaka. He actually got the message which Janaka was trying to give him. This is what is true spirituality. One aspect of you rooted in the fire of wisdom, in complete detachment, and the other aspect of you enjoying the world. That is the yogic life. So Janaka taught Sukamuni not in the traditional way, but he taught him in a different way altogether. He molded him and made him complete. Already Sukamuni was, at a very advanced level. So this is the core of his teachings was this only. You be at a very high level, but at the same time be grounded here. That is what is represented by earth. And then we saw water, being flexible. See, as a sadhak, you should be very flexible in life. You should not go about telling everybody, I am doing sadhana, I am doing sadhana. They should see the effect of your sadhana, the positive effects of your sadhana. They should feel that automatically, which is, if you become so cheerful, so they will start feeling the energy of cheer if you become so loving, if you become very smart, sharp intellectually, they start seeing your clarity. So they themselves will, start asking you. The other way is, some people in the name of doing sadhana, they advertise within their homes also. This is my sadhana time, and they come, they try to make a show of it. So never do that. Be very flexible like water. Just go along with the flow of life. What is your stage of life? Whatever, it doesn't matter what your age is. Whatever your age is, at this age, what is the flow of my life? Our masters have given the various stages, but you don't even require the masters to say that. It's obvious. You have, first you're a baby, then you're a child, then you become a youth, adult, then you get into old age. So like this, different phases. Whatever phase you are in, with whomever you are interacting, all these things do not matter, but just go with that flow of life and do whatever is required in that phase of life. The problem is, if you have not done what is required from the previous phases of your life, then that will come and interfere. It will create a lot of confusion. That's why you need to do sadhana and release all those impressions. Let us say, supposing you committed a mistake when you were 30 years old. Now, when you become 60 years old, now the guilt of that is still bothering you. I'm giving an example. Now, thinking about what you did 30 years back, if you fail to do whatever you can do now you're making another mistake. Then when you become 80, you will say, I didn't do that time, I didn't do this time, I did a lot of mistakes. That is not the aim of these sessions. Some people, when they write point, I should know, correct all my mistakes which I have done in my life. I have done a lot of mistakes. They keep writing that. No, all those guilt, the thoughts, they should be released during sadhana, and you should become a fresh person. So supposing, let us say you may even be 80, 85, doesn't matter, or even 90. There are some people after 90 also they are watching these Sunday sessions. Very beautiful messages I get. Very interesting. These Sunday sessions, we have children watching. You may wonder what is the minimum age. I'm telling you, a 1-year-old girl watches these Sunday sessions along with her mother, very seriously, and sometimes when a joke is cracked or something, the mother laughs. No, the child also laughs, the baby also laughs. Without what she understands and all, nobody knows. But picking up that energy, and when the Om is chanted, I believe that girl also chants Om. It does chants in its own way. One mother has sent a message saying that her 1.5-year-old child, that girl baby, she is humming the entire Nirvana Shatkam, entire Sri Hari Dhyana, all that. She is humming the tune. These people must be some great souls who have come in this body now, and they are continuing with their sadhana. Similarly, we have people 60, 70, 80, 90s also, people watching this with the same youthful interest and interested in self-development. It's very inspiring, wide spectrum. So it doesn't matter what age you are in, which phase of life you are in. The previous phases, even if you have made mistakes, release them completely. Now then only that flexibility will come. Otherwise, see, if you're going to carry the hang-ups of the past, that will create a lot of stiffness. That will be there. That is why the daily sadhana is prescribed. So slowly, when you keep releasing all the past from you, you will become like water. Then you will start flowing freely, flexibly. The beauty of water is it will flow in a free way. If you keep a solid object, it cannot flow. So you should flow and do whatever you ought to do in your life. That's all it is. That's a beautiful sadhana. So incorporate that into your life, this principle. Then we saw sun. So in this context, what is sun? The sun is noticed by everyone. It attracts everyone. That fame, So I said, when you focus on the quality of your actions, now it'll start speaking. So you should be careful. If you have a desire to attract others, if you have a desire to impress others, now that is rajasic. The sattvic person will have no desire to impress anyone, no desire to attract anyone, name, fame, all these things will not bother him. His only focus will be on whatever I am doing, let me do it properly. The name, fame, the recognition, all these things come as a byproduct. That is the meaning of sun here. The sun doesn't want our attention, but the fact that it's glowing attracts us. Everyone knows the sun, So don't misunderstand this as, no, I should attract everybody with my actions. No. Your work is not to attract. Your work is to focus on the quality which will attract by itself. That is the significance of sun. Then we will also see this Vishnu, the other dimension of Anna. Anna also means Vishnu. So when we did the Parjanya, the cloud, I gave you the application of sun and Vishnu. Here, see, one is to follow these principles, that is represented by sun. Now, Vishnu represents the ability to guide others. See, there are these two things which come to a yogi. One is, as a first step, now he becomes a role model by practicing these things. When that happens, the Vishnu element in him gets activated. Now, if you ask me, what do you mean by Vishnu element? That is, one session will not be enough. We can go for years together on that. So, the entire Bhagavad Purana is dealing with the energy of Vishnu only, no? So, all that has been condensed and given to you in a simple way in Sri Hari Dhyana. So, one of the facets of Vishnu is the ability to guide others. That's why Lord Krishna, who was a Purna avatar of Vishnu, he was called the Jagat Guru, the Guru who can guide the entire Jagat, entire universe. It's interesting, the other avatars were not called Jagat Gurus. The Purna avatar was called the Jagat Guru because that is an essential element of Vishnu. This doesn't mean now, again don't misunderstand, other avatars are inferior, they cannot guide others. It's not that. The guidance becomes complete. That is, Lord Krishna is an avatar who has inherited all the aspects of Vishnu in a complete way. That's what it means. So what do we mean by the ability to guide others? See, when you follow these principles properly, then you become a role model. You start emanating the spiritual energy. Now, automatically others will get impacted because of that in a positive way. So, whether you take up the role of a teacher or not and all that, in your own way, the guidance will start happening. Now, don't start imagining all this. Sometimes, see, the problem is without doing proper sadhana, the ego goes for a trip. And you're just feeling, you start feeling that, now energy started emanating from me and, others are, I am now ready to guide others and all. That is an all ego playing. I am only telling you what will happen in the natural flow of spiritual advancement. Now, how much of that is applicable to you? That if you make a simple self-analysis, you will know. but it will not be zero. There will be some percentage. That's why I am mentioning that. So when you're doing sadhana properly, people will start noticing a difference, because your very presence will be so inspiring. So they will start asking you questions. At that time, why I'm mentioning this dimension is for this only. At that time, now ensure that you don't get an ego trip. They may come to you for guidance. It means the Vishnu element has been triggered. Or if nothing else, it happened with one sadhak. He used to go to a restaurant and eat food on a regular basis. Someone else who watched him, he came and had a conversation with him. He said, what do you do and all that? And in the conversation, he casually mentioned about the Sunday sessions. He said, I follow this, the yogic path, and I do the sadhana and all that. Now, to which that man said, I thought so. Something was different about you, no? I'm able to feel your tejas, this, that, and all that man said. So, what this sadhak, he came and told me, he was a really good sadhak. No, he ensured that, at every stage, he was always very humble. And so he came and said, sir, when that person said that, oh, you have tejas and all, for 1 second, my ego got boosted up so much, where the most interesting part is, he said, I started visualizing myself with that, the movies and all they show, no, that halo around the head and all that. So all those kinds of pictures started coming in my mind, he said. And then suddenly, like a jolt, he said, I could hear your voice, whatever you had mentioned in the lecture, sir, that be humble. That thing came, I said that is the Guru Shakti only guiding from within, So he remembered that, and immediately he quietened down. He said, it was so funny, he was objective enough to even laugh at it. It was so amusing. One small praise from another person, how much of ego started manifesting. He said, this is exactly what one should be careful about. That's why it is always suggested to sadhaks, just do your sadhana quietly and keep doing your duties properly. Wanting to be a teacher, see, when we are talking of Vishnu, the ability to guide, the Upanishadic masters had the ability to guide, but they never wanted to be a teacher and guide and all that. No master worth a name will call himself a master and will want to teach and all that. It happens automatically. The world may call a master a great master, but he will only consider himself a student. So how do you activate this Vishnu element, the Jagat Guru element within you, the Guru element within you? By being a perfect student, a very good learner of life. The more you maintain the spirit of learning, incidentally, the teacher element also will be activated within you. But the more you want to teach others, advise others and all this, now your learning will stop. So even teachers in any subject, don't consider yourself as a person who knows everything. No, you're only playing the role of a teacher. There's nothing wrong with that. But be a learner. Learn along with your students. See, great knowledgeable people were like that only. I remember when I was in school, my mathematics professor, he used to give this coaching for IIT, So that time it was just a few, 2-3 people he used to teach. Sometimes when we used to come out with some solution, he'll admire that, Hey, that's brilliant, he'll say. The method which occurred to me was slightly longer, but what occurred to you was really, it's really brilliant. Now, we used to feel so shy because he was a genius, but he was being very genuine. He was a genuine learner. So, whether it is a worldly subject or more so when it comes to spiritual wisdom, the Vishnu element will be activated, the Guru element will be activated within you, but don't allow it to pollute your personality. The ego is waiting. So, to balance that out, always maintain the learner element within you. Nitya Shishya. Be always a learner. After being in the sadhana for a few months itself, it should make you a very good student, a learner of life, I'm talking about. If you say I am doing sadhana for 15 years and still you're not willing to learn, adapt and all that, then there is something wrong with your sadhana. You're doing sadhana in a very generalized way. The base level hasn't yet moved up. So that is the significance of this dimension Vishnu. That's why I wanted to take that separately. I didn't want to combine it with any of these things. So practice all these principles, be a role model, focus on the quality, that is the sun, Surya. And your ability to understand others, to genuinely guide others will increase, but never ever allow that to pollute your ego. If at all you're teaching something to, even from a worldly sense, if you're teaching something to someone, you're playing the role of a teacher. Don't consider yourself as an all-knowing person. This is so important in spirituality. So just because you have attended so many sessions of Bhagavad Gita, now I know Bhagavad Gita better than others. Don't think like that. I'm not thinking like that genuinely. See, when you all write your points, in that YouTube section, that sadhana when you're doing, I genuinely get so inspired because each one of you put those points in your own way. Your personality is expressing through that. So when I read that, I learn a lot and so much of healing. I found that those people who genuinely write points, I found that when the healing is given, they receive, their soul receives the healing energy so much. So maintain that spirit of humility, which is what will keep the Vishnu element always active within you. The great Lord Vishnu, now we call him great, but he was just a simple person. We can't call him a he's God, I'm just using some word. He took a complete avatar of Narasimha to fulfill the wishes of Prahalada, who was just a 7-year-old boy, So simple he was. So all great masters, when you go and meet them, they were all very simple people, just doing simple things in life. Very, without any ego, without any arrogance, without no inferiority complex, no superiority complex. So simply saying I am nothing, that is also ego, which is themselves learning, constantly learning. But when they were learning, when you keep on learning, a time would come where teaching will happen automatically as an overflow. When you keep filling the bottle with water, after a while when the bottle is full, the water will start overflowing. So that is what is meant, is represented by Vishnu in this context. So from rain arises food. Parjanyat anna sambhavaha. These are the things which you should focus on to make it happen. Now we will see the next step, that is annat bhavanti bhutani. From food arise beings. So from rain arises food. Now what will food give? It says bhutani, beings. Bhavanti means arise. So literally if you take, that's true. It is the food which through which we are born, and we are sustained also. I already covered that. That is the literal meaning. If you take this as in a simple way. Simple means in a superficial way in this context, not simple way. But obviously it means much more than that. So he says from food arise beings. So beings means all of us. We have all come from food. So what is food? We have already seen. What is the meaning of that? So when you practice all this, what will happen to us? What will be the effect on us? On us means on you, right? And right now the focus, I am talking to you directly. Now when I say I am talking to you directly, supposing you and your partner, both of you are watching. Now don't start arguing. I think he's talking to me only. Both of you, as an individual, this message is for you personally. So what will happen to you? Now the key there is in that word bhavanti. Bhavanti means arise, it's in plural, bhava. But bhava also means so many other things. The dimensions are many. So I will give you a few dimensions in the next session, which will make you understand this in a very deep way. Because this is the way you can check whether you are doing your sadhana properly or not. These things will start happening to you. So it is not just an agricultural statement he is making, food will give rise to you. Now how is that relevant to your sadhana? You need to think about that, no? So that part of it we will see in the next session. Before we do the Nididhyasana, I will take up a couple of questions. This question has been put in the YouTube section. Now, thank you Yogishri for today's session. As a sadhak, you shall build capacity. Okay, all that is fine. So, I'll come directly to the question. So, Yogishri, last 3-4 lectures have caused a lot of turmoil and restlessness in mind, especially cause and effect, where understanding effect also starts as cause has started, where I start looking at everything from a very judgmental view. Any negative thought brings in a fear as to will it have an effect. For example, sitting idle, etc. I know it is a mind playing games, but still too much disturbance is there. So, post so much overthinking, I can't get rid of certain habits which every day, at the end of the day, make a resolute will I like not to do like being online, but I end up doing so. So kindly guide. How can this be improved and be resolute and change habits and come out of this internal fear of restlessness? With utmost gratitude and regards. So this is a good question which she has asked. It will be very useful for everyone. See, this restlessness, when you gain this wisdom, this restlessness which comes is actually a positive thing. First of all, you please understand this. An ignorant person will be quite happy. That happiness is not true happiness. Like the statement also somebody has said, no, ignorance is bliss. It is not true bliss. So, what happened is, see, there was a lot of dirt in your room. Now, earlier you were not aware of that at all. You were just happily sleeping. Now, after attending these sessions, I have told you, listen, there's a lot of dirt. So, that has caused a lot of restlessness. So, is it a positive thing or negative thing? It is a positive thing. The restlessness has come about because of your increased awareness. Earlier you were in the state of tamas, sleeping. Now the awareness has increased. So you have started looking within. You started seeing, oh, for example, you're saying, I'm sitting idle, or too much online, that is the cell I'm doing. So what are going to be the effects of this? So when we are studying the cause and effect, now you have started relating it to your life, and that is causing this restlessness. As a great thinker said, confusion is the first sign of wisdom. If a person says, I have no questions, it means two things. Either he has not understood anything, or he has understood everything and gone to that supreme wisdom. Some people, they say, no questions, they say. They have either slept or they have become jnanis. A person who is into this will get a lot of questions, will have a lot of doubts, will get this restlessness, because that is what is going to get you to change things from within. When you start seeing the dirt in your room, of course now it will give you a fear. My God, so much of dirt I have accumulated. At that time, what should you do? First thing is, understand that this is a positive growth. It's a positive pain. The pain of growth. It is not the pain caused because of the negative things, because your awareness is increased. Some other sadhaks always, every now and then some sadhak or other comes and tells me this, that before listening to Yoga Sankirtan, I didn't have so many thoughts. But when I start listening to Yoga Sankirtan, many thoughts have started coming. It is not that many thoughts have started coming. Earlier also you had them. Earlier you were not aware of them. Now you have started becoming more aware. Your awareness has started increasing. So this is the first step. So at this stage, what should you do? You should bring in this understanding. You should talk to your own mind. You should understand that overnight change is not possible, and we are not suggesting that also. See, in a session like this, I am giving you the ideal way of functioning. I am not now saying from this moment onward you should now start following all this 100%. How is that possible? No, don't take it like that. When it is said, be cheerful always, never don't fall prey to negative emotions like anger and all that. Some people take it as, okay, from this moment, supposing you're a very short-tempered person, this moment itself I have destroyed the anger and I will become peaceful. It's not possible like that. If such a thing is possible, I'll be so happy. My workload will reduce. No need all these sessions, empowerments and all this. Just one line. Become divine. Finished. Oh, I become 100% divine. How nice it will be. So for example, even the statement, when the statement is be divine, become divine, if it is said like that, immediately now I'll have to practice it 100%. There is nothing like that. So you're having unrealistic expectations about yourself also. So see, now you're learning the cause and effect. I'm taking your example. You're learning what is the cause, what is the effect and all that. That is a good thing. Now you're seeing how that is applicable in your life. So if it causes restlessness, simply release that restlessness during your sadhana and continue with this inner introspection. It's a good thing. See, you're making a review, no? Okay, I'm sitting idly. Now, what is the impact it is having in my life? I'm doing too much of online things. What is the impact it is having? It's a good analysis you're making. The restlessness part alone, which is stemming from an unrealistic expectations that you should now follow all this instantly, 100%. Like some sadhaks say, I am doing a lot of sadhana, still I am getting angry, still I am having this, I am still, of course, that will be there. See, you're carrying a lot of past, no? So remember this, please. This is a message to all the sadhaks. When these principles are being presented here, they are meant to inspire you. Now, don't think that now Yogishri is saying you should know sometimes as a sadhak you should be 100% pure. Sometimes we say that some things like that, no? So immediately you say, I am not 100% pure. Why is that? Don't start asking like that. That is the ideal way of functioning. So then in your life you will have to work yourself up to this level. It's a gradual process. So you started the process of inner growth, which is very positive. Now, how to remove that restlessness, fear, release them during sadhana. All along you've been living with the dirt only. Now you've just become aware. So suddenly that fear has come. No problem. Release it during the sadhana and then continue in your path of self-discovery. So one by one all the dirt can be removed. And as you become more and more pure from within, you will start shining like the sun, you know. Okay, this is a very important point to all the sadhaks. Please make a note of that. I'll take up one more question related to the 22-day empowerment course. Again, I'm skipping all the points which have been given. Thank you for your lovely clarification. Okay, all that is fine. When one registers for the empowerment session, the benefit flows into only one's life or also to one's family. Thank you once again, Guruji. Now, see, when you see, basic principle is whatever it is that you do, that you will only benefit from that. If you do sadhana, you will benefit. But those who are karmically related to you and all that will get a small portion of that benefit. This is a general rule. See, if you become cheerful, will my wife benefit from it if you ask that? Not the primary benefit, but if you become cheerful, the effect of that will definitely benefit others around you. The same rule only with the empowerment courses also. If you register for the empowerment course, you are getting the benefit because the healing energy is being sent to you. Will now other family members benefit me? Not directly. Definitely no. But when you get positive benefits, now you become more cheerful, your energy pattern changes, indirectly that will have a good effect on them. So in that sense, they will also get benefited. Now, I am not reading another question which one more sadhak has asked. For my family members, for all that is those who are close to me, for them to benefit, what should I do? Now, they should register and they should receive the healing energy and they should do the sadhana, the course. If you want them to get the full benefits, that is the way. See, in empowerments alone, passive benefits cannot happen. So, in the Upanishads, it is said, if one person becomes realized, now 7 generations will benefit. Does it mean now 7 generations doesn't need to do any sadhana? Because they are getting all the benefits. No, it's not that. That's why understand this principle. If one person becomes cheerful, that energy is beneficial to others around. So that is different, and the direct benefit which the person is getting because of that cheer energy is different. So when you register for this empowerment course, you are getting the direct benefit. The effect of that can percolate to your close people, which is natural, no? Even every day you are doing your sadhana. Sir, if I do my sadhana, will my wife evolve spiritually? How is that possible? But if you do your sadhana, supposing if I do my sadhana, will my wife benefit? Yes, because you're becoming a source of divinity. So naturally the other person will benefit. So it's an indirect benefit. So this is not like a miracle, some magic or something. If at all we call it a miracle, it's a miracle based on cause and effect only. But once you understand the cause and effect, you will say it's not a miracle anymore. So you register, you get the benefits. Those benefits are nothing compared to the benefits which you will get when you attend the course. Huh? If this itself is so tremendous, imagine how it will be when you attend the course and when you do the sadhana, in an intense sadhana with the master and receive the empowerment energy. So when you do all that, you will get those benefits. So let us be very clear. For some people who have registered their babies or sometimes some elderly people, they will receive much more than a mere indirect benefit, because they will be, the transference of energy will be done to them, the seeds will be sown, the form of energy, they will receive more healing. But for a person who actively does sadhana, naturally that cannot be compared to this, no? Okay. So with this, now we'll do the Nididhyasana meditation. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am becoming more and more relaxed. feel the divine vibrations. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into myself. Beyond my physical body, beyond my pranas, beyond my emotions and thoughts, I exist as the pure consciousness. My consciousness is infinite and divine. From this moment onwards, I choose to be a Nitya Shishya, an eternal student of life. my focus is always on learning and growing. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Wriggle your fingers, your toes, open and close your palms a few times. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. And cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, your cheeks, forehead, the top of your head, the back of your head, your neck, and slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So today we had some very important points for your sadhana. sometimes when the same point is being emphasized, don't take it as, oh, I've already heard this. Some other subtle aspect of that same point will always be given if you notice very carefully. Like I talked about earth, water, again, but you carefully listen, some more depth would have been added, some subtlety would have been added. This is what I'm saying. You should always be open and fresh, always wanting to learn. Okay. So regarding the 22-day course, it's nearing, and a lot of preparatory healing energy has already been sent, and that is being continued. Do your sadhana regularly on a daily basis, I would say. So important. Okay. So I'll see you in the next session. Thank you very much. Hari Om.